His dad, he is 57, and he looks great. His has been a little bit more difficult to get under control with mood problems, but he had a whole bunch of problems. He was sleeping all the time too. He never naps now. He's just go, right? He's done what, like 180 tours this year? Like, he's got unlimited energy. Yeah, it was a lot. So, yeah, no, those are gone. I brought like a bag back to the pharmacy. Okay, so 2015, I realized gluten-free wasn't a fad. And then over that didn't really make much of a difference, honestly, getting rid of gluten. So in September, I went on an elimination diet that I kind of came up with myself, and it was just meat, root vegetables, and rice, because I thought those seem like things nobody's allergic to. I kind of just tried to cut out allergens. And I did it for a week and nothing changed, and I didn't realize this, but I was getting cravings at that point. And I made gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free banana almond flour muffins. I was like, that's healthy, and I just like ate, like 5 of them that night. And I woke up in the morning, my wrists were kind of sore, and I was like, maybe there's something to this. And then I had like 4 more muffins, because like sore wrists, whatever, the muffins were good. And then the next day, I was in the grocery store shopping, and my knees locked up, and I spent the next 2.5 days in bed. And that never happened with my arthritis. Like, I didn't really have bad flare-ups in my knees. And so I thought, oh my God, like maybe there's something to this. So I went back to the original elimination diet, and I lost 3 pant sizes that month and 5 pounds. And I thought, well, that doesn't really make any sense. And it turned out the reason I could never get abs was because I was just permanently bloated, which I hadn't even known was a thing. So I went through this for a number of years. The low-carb diet, I cut out rice because I realized that bothered me, but I was on something that was like apples, greens, root vegetables, but not potatoes, meat, and I was doing really, really well on that. And I stopped all my medication, and I stopped my antidepressants in November, and people in Canada know it's really dark in November, and if you're depressed, that's not when you stop medication, but I could tell the depression was gone. Like, when you take antidepressants, you still know it's there. And it lifted, and I was like, whoa, I gotta get my dad on this, because he has the same depression I have. So he went on it. And then we tried to reintroduce foods and did it just terribly. Like I said earlier, it was like, I might as well go out with a bang if I can't eat, anything again, sugar, anything. So I'd eat a whole pile of it, and then I started experiencing these horrific reactions, and I went to doctors, and I was saying, man, I think I'm allergic to soy. I think I'm allergic to almonds. Like, I think I'm allergic to sugar. And they're going, well, it's not showing up on the skin test. And I was like, it's not an IgE allergy. Like, it's something else. Something's happening. Like, do you look into, other types of antibodies or inflammatory reactions? No, those aren't real allergies. I was like, I reintroduced a whole bunch of food. My arthritis is back, my skin is breaking out, I have body odor, my gums are bleeding, my face is puffy, and I'm on the verge of hallucinating, and nothing is happening. Like, you can see something happening. So I went to an immunologist the last time, February 2016, and then I just stopped. So I gave up with the food introductions, but I stuck with this low-carb diet, and everything was going great, and then I got pregnant. And then all my symptoms came back, which was really scary and really frustrating, because when they leave and then they come back, it's just, and I'm sure a lot of people know about that, it is so scary. So they came back, and I didn't know what to do for about a year, and I came across, I knew meat didn't bother me, and at that point I was eating meat and lettuce and pepper and salt and apple cider vinegar and olive oil. So I was like, the lettuce is keeping my vitamins alive. Like, I need to keep this. And I came across Sean Baker on Joe Rogan, and he was saying, oh, I've been doing this for 2 years. And I was like, well, he's big and strong and looks healthy. Like, okay. So that night, I cut everything out. And I had transition symptoms just from dropping, like lettuce, olive oil, and there was some turmeric there too. And I still went through transition symptoms. I'd been in ketosis for 3 years, so it had nothing to do with ketosis. It was something else. But about a week later, the itching stopped and the arthritis went away. And my digestion was just a disaster. And I was like, well, I guess it's a trade-off, right? I don't want the itching and the arthritis. My depression lifted in about 6 weeks. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't depressed, and that was good. My mom hopped on board really quickly in January. I was like, you want to give it a shot? She's like, sure. She's been like vegetarian, like she's done everything, so she's very open. She started that. And then I like worked at my dad because he like worked because he was literally just eating meat and greens, and he was waking up with horrible anxiety, and he was saying, this isn't working. I was like, just drop the greens, like every day till April, and eventually he was home and I could like corner him. And
wait, that's not his version of that story.
Yeah, his version is not true. So he dropped the greens, and he said 3 days later, the horrible doomy feeling in the morning went away. 3 days. So that's my mom, and this is her on the carnivore diet. She let me take this picture. She knows it's here. She's 57. Yeah, and that is everything she was suffering from. She cut out wheat a long time ago. We were all like, psh, mom and her wheat allergy. But that's what she had, and she's good now. She's happy. She's still doing meat. It's been a year. This is Dad. He is 57, and he looks great. His has been a little bit more difficult to get under control with mood problems, but he had a whole bunch of problems. He was sleeping all the time too. He never naps now. He's just go, right? He's done like 180 tours this year. Like he's got unlimited energy.